While this isn't directly concerned with me running into a weeaboo, what I'm going to say is what happens when somebody thinks you're a weeb just for watching anime or anything related to it. Keep in mind this happened about 3 years ago, so I might be a bit hazy on the details. I go to the secondary school called Marcelin College, which, among other things, is an all-boys school dedicated to teaching and aspiring young men of the Marxist spirit and the way of Mary. Other than that, the following has nothing to do with religion or Catholicism. Boy, I just butchered that word, but let's keep going. But I'm saying this now because this will come up later. So, it was year 7 or 8 in my school, and in RE class, funny how the religion class had to be where the shenanigans ensue, decided to take a free period and do what we want, as an attaboy for making it through the assessment task involving explaining the history of various mythologies. This is probably the only time I remember this happening with no strings attached or special catches, so I decided what an average teen would do with such an opportunity. Surf YouTube. And being the habitual gamer and petrol head I am, I decided to watch some vids on the PlayStation Initial D games. This being free period, nobody really batted an eye, and those who did usually asked, "Is this NFS?" To which I replied, "Kinda, it's more like Tokyo Drift." Then this guy shows up. I don't want to give you his actual name, because what I'm about to say next, so I'll just call him Cartman, since every day I see him, he becomes more like Cartman from South Park. Anyways, Cartman decides to show up from behind me, like he's Batman or something. This is where the fun starts, as he started going, "Is this shit hentai?" To which I replied, "Course not. This is NFS." I was going off on the assumption that since he's the kind of guy who marathons Call of Duty streams in plain sight at school, I wouldn't blame him if he was thinking I was watching Tokyo Drift and ran off the assumption that anything Japanese made was automatically porn, which Initial D obviously wasn't. And this is where the real fun starts. I kinda got surprised by the accusation since Initial D games were exclusively played in first person, and the only way we could have known that it was anime was either from the mugshots that appeared from the top right of the game screen, or that he already knew it was. I tried explaining that it was a video game, but he kept pointing out at the title and going, "You's watching hentai, I'ma dab on ya." I don't even know what that is, but let's continue. And tried going to the teacher to tell on me like he was thinking he was a Boy Scout or something. I instead beat him to the punch, explained to the teacher that he's attempting to blackmail me or something. She's obviously confused, so I had to not only explain to her what the heck he was doing, but I had to explain what hentai was. This would have ended the business as usual and Cartman getting attention, but everything went crazy because A, the teacher was a woman and most hentai works often involve women being raped, and B, she was a bit of a feminist and was violently protective of her dignity as a woman. She absolutely laid and tore into him, not letting him hear the end of it, going into a rant of how porn violates women's rights and so on, like she was incarnating Wonder Woman towards Kratos. And the best part was that Cartman did get double detention on Thursday and Saturday for accusing me of owning hentai. So here's a lesson for anyone who watches anime. There's nothing wrong with watching it, but be careful about what you watch since it'll send the wrong ideas to the wrong person, as Cartman found the hard way. What the heck does "I'ma dab on ya" mean? Hey Vivid, I've been a fan of your videos since the summer, and I have a story of my own. This story takes place last year in December. I'll be calling myself Ollie for this story, and the Weeaboo will be called AI. So I'm a fan of Edgeworld, Invader Zim, Black Butler, and these are going to be important. I was browsing the internet for something to do, well, more like browsing Wattpad, and I did this often for some reason, and I kinda liked it. When suddenly, some person I didn't know messaged me. I didn't mind because it didn't bother me when people I didn't know PM me. The message they sent read, "Hi, I'm new to Wattpad, and you like the 3 things I like." I was happy for a minute because I don't see a ton of Invader Zim fans on Wattpad, and when I do find one, I'm too nervous to talk to them, so I replied, "Oh, that's cool, how are you?" We talked for a while, but then AI asked, "Are you a furry?" Let's just say one thing, I'm a Diet Coke furry. meaning that while I am a furry, I don't do certain things that most would do, so I replied with, "Close, I'm a Diet Coke furry." She then went full on, started cursing me out, saying how I was ruining the internet and how I should die, but then they said sorry, and I just replied, "It's okay because I'm a really forgiving person." Another thing is that I am an OC canon shipper. Even though there's a lot of hate towards it, I ignore the hate because shipping my OC with canon characters is one of the things I use to cope with my anxiety. I posted a picture of my OC canon ship on my Wattpad book, and she saw it. And immediately got angry with me, starting to curse me out again, and I blocked her this time. I then deleted the book and never unblocked her. Aya's account soon got deleted because she was harassing a few other people, and I never seen or talked to her since. I was in 7th grade, 2nd semester, and I became the president of the high school anime club, and more or less became the talk of my SPED technical elementary and high school. It was cool until this weeb and her equally weeb brother transferred from some public prep school. They'll be called Ramunade and Tetsuo. Tetsuo was an Akira fan, and Ramunade was she mostly just brought weeb snacks. And they both loved Fallout New Vegas. Being the human Diamat hybrid, I was talking to them about the DLCs, mainly Dead Money and Lonesome Road. Tetsuo was more of an honest hearts guy, mainly because goody Joshi Graham Cracker was her husbando or something, and Ramunade just thought Dead Money was greatly written. They weren't bad until lunch. I said I was a Father Elijah and Ulysses apologist. They went dead silent, gave me this death stare, and Ramunade slowly said, "I hope you get locked in the Madre's fault and then sodomized by a death claw," then walked away to another group. They shouted, "Don't you have anything better to do than be a dictator?" and called me an NCR scum. Apparently the Weeb twins said I was an NCR supporter and that I was a Hippocratic BOS traitor, and not even telling them I also felt bad for Ulysses. They were ultimately banned from writing "Screw NCR" and "Go Back to New Cali" in my copy of Berserk, an omnibus of Bakakira, and harassing me in a mix of Spanish and Japanese. Anime Club is now in ruins and slowly dying because I hate myself for ever letting this happen. Dying, instead of dying, because I can't pronounce anything right. And now we start off reading the comments. I asked you guys what was the most obscure cosplay you'd love to see at a convention, and here were your answers. Nice Guy Nicholas #1 said, "I would love to see a Ugandan Knuckles costume." Marlena Oritz said, "In the past I tend to do obscure stuff and even designed a few despite being blind." Oh hey! Typing on an iPad since I used to use screen reader. The most obscure I've done was Dot Hack, which has an OC twin blade and was the heaviest, hardest design, and took almost a month for my fiance to make my twin blades. I got my props from... Oh my god, I did get props from a voice actor for them. Another slightly obscure is Digimon, and I will be doing that this year. When it came to mine, when I saw a Godamon plushie, tripping over my words here, and finding out voice actors from the series will be at the convention, I'll be doing a press again for this year. I just need to finish the outfit and I'll be done. For anyone who wants to be in cosplay, Hot Topic is a great place, essentially for sales on parts you need, as a tip from someone who's been cosplaying since 2005. And finally, I has a theory said, "Great narration as always," and to answer, I'd love to see some oh god, I know how to pronounce this because I've watched this show, Shaolin Showdown cosplay of any kind of con. I feel the fandom has little to no attention these days. I can't believe I almost mispronounced My Jam when I was a kid. I loved that show. Oh my god. And now for the next question. What's your most guilty pleasure anime? It can be something obscure, it can be something mainstream, but what is an anime that is just your guilty pleasure to watch? That you have no reason to watch, you just do, and you'll love it. Leave your answer down in the comments section, and the top 3 will be listed and read out in the next video. Thank you!